Hello guys and girls and welcome to War Thunder with the Ho-Ri. Finally have some good gameplay footage. Huzzah! It has taken till pretty much the end of the weekend to get it. I'm finding weekends are not good to play War Thunder. Just not a good time to play. It tends to be a bit iffy. Anyway, let's talk about this. So we're on the new Japan map as well, fitting for a Japanese tank. I actually think I'm the only Japanese player on the team. No, I think we have one other in the Sherman. I'm the only Japanese tank on the team then. So, this vehicle, as I said in my review video of it, it's not great, but it does have its strengths, and that's what I'm going to show to you today. The strengths of this tank. Also a couple of weaknesses, but majority of strengths. The strength of this vehicle is armor. When you're in a 6.0 game, this thing is pretty hard to kill. You're going to be able to bounce shots from a lot of things, if you're lucky. The frontal armor of this thing is reasonably good for 6.0 and below matches. When you're up tiered, not so much. When you're playing against Russians, not so much. But when you're playing against the allied teams of America and England, it's reasonably good. But what you want to do is be slightly hull down. And you want to get it angled a bit as well. A little bit more angling will really help with the armor. This map has the perfect spot. I love this little hillock here. Now, it's not perfect because there is a lot of flanking that can happen. So you are very close to being flanked. And also the enemy can creep up from here. As you can see, there is an M18 already in here. He fires straight into the front of my tank, can't penetrate. Brilliant news for me. Fires again, still can't penetrate. So, I'm pondering going over this hill, but I don't know how many tanks are over watching me from the side. Try and call out to the team. Watch out, this guy's here. The VK gets annihilated from the side, and I think, well, I've got to take this guy out because he's going to flank us. Come over the hill. Easy kill. This is where the mobility of this tank comes in. It's very mobile. As you saw there, cresting that hill was very quick and easy. The front armor really paid off there. Now, theoretically I should have done it a bit quicker, but I didn't want to risk it. So we've got an M18 and an IS-1 over there. Fire at the M18, set him on fire. I'm trying to spot what else is there, because I can see a couple of tanks in the area, I think. Fire again, set him on fire again. The IS-1 comes in to help his buddy. Try and get a shot off the other tank, but I hit the M18's cannon instead. Starts towing him backwards. Fire at the IS-1, miss. Can't really see my targets here. See it's an IS. Try and aim for that lower plate. But I hit the track area and of course do no damage because it's a Russian tank. Still, they're spotted very much. The IS has moved and I didn't see it moving, so drat. Okay. Now trying to spot that IS. Can just see the front there. I don't want to get too cocky and crest the hill too much because I'm worried about my flank. And as you can see, there's a lot of M18s over to the left there. They've really taken on the C area and are spawn camping us already. This early in the game, we've been spawn camped to hell. Now, I thought I saw a tank there, but it's actually a statue. Yes, the joy of realistic battle. And, of course, I've just fired, so that M18 is safe for the time being. Take out his crew. God damn, this thing is soaking up shots today. 4 shots into an M18, 5 shots, and finally get the kill on the thing. 5 shots on into what a Hellcat, and yeah, it was pretty iffy. So now I'm keeping an eye on that area, and I'm not watching my left, because I didn't really see the fact that we were being outflanked, and nobody was saying anything in the team chat, unfortunately. But the main strength of this vehicle is purely this. Crest riding and sitting in this sort of position. just pause it for a second. We'll just switch to the external camera. And as you can see, the lower plate is sort of, it's a little bit out, but it's a bit more hidden than it would be. Majority of people sort of shoot for this flat section here, which is quite handy. They don't go for the lower plates because this is the only real weak point. So it tends to work out reasonably in your favour. But your biggest weakness is your side, of course. Now I'm keeping sort of behind this crest, just trying to spot any enemies really. And as you can see, there's a million planes up in the air. T-34 over there that I can't see. Of course, this being a realistic battle, I can't see these name tags. So I've got no idea there's anyone there. I'm just trying to keep a lookout for shots being fired and seeing what I can see really. I see a marker over there. I can't see the tank though. If I'd looked through my gun sights, I'd have actually been able to see it, but my binoculars were just a little bit too high. So I'm trying to keep an eye out, see if I can catch anyone heading to B. And then I get a feeling my left-hand side is a bit open. Especially when the Stuart Emil gets blasted in the face. So I start turning the vehicle a little bit and try and get some, trying to get a sighting over to the left-hand side. Now, there's a Sherman over to the right, which I sort of spotted momentarily. So I pull down a little bit. But the Hellcat's the main problem. The Sherman's... I think the Sherman disappears a bit. I see a shot ringing out. But these are going to be the main targets. That M18 is there looking at me, so I pull down a little bit because I really don't want to get hit in the side. And of course it's watching me, so by the time I get my gun on sight, it's moved. So I'm really trying to watch over there. Now what I'm not doing is watching my left hand side, and as you can see I should have been, because we've got another Hellcat coming around the corner here. The Tiger, I think it was behind me, has been blown to smithereens, and now it's the end of my game, for this tank at least. But this gives a good idea of its strengths and weaknesses. This thing is very weak to flanking manoeuvres. If you can get a spot where you're relatively safe from flanking, it's king. But if you can be flanked, you're going to have problems. Now, as you can see here, there's a PT-76 right there that I didn't notice, that's spawn camping the heck out of us. We are spawn camped to high heaven at this stage, but luckily it's been taken out. But yeah, spawn camping is a real issue on this map. Gaijin really didn't do a very good job of this one. There's some very, very easy spots to spawn camp from, and every time I've played this map, it's just been spawn camp, you know. As you can see here, we've got two tanks sitting on their spawn right now, just spawn camping. Even though we're losing the game, they're just sitting there spawn camping for easy kills. You know, that's how prolific it is. Ground Forces is still very much problematic with spawn camping and planes, which is a real shame, but hopefully we get some fixes soon. I'm not going to go into too much of a rant about it today because I had my big rant yesterday. So now we're in the Tiger, and there is a Hellcat flying over that ridge there. Hello. Get hit by a couple of machine gun bullets. Hellcat stops. Get target, and nice easy kill. Okay, that's good news. So it's not been a bad game so far. We've got 3 kills and 1 assist. The assist was from the IS, of course, earlier in the game. So A is looking good. We've got a couple of tanks down in that area, so I figure B needs some help from me. Now, as you see, the spawn campers are still picking our tanks off as they go along. The M4A3E2 over there is really doing a lot of damage to our spawn. And he'll get his comeuppance. There he is to the left of us. I think I completely missed him, in fact. I spot that one over there. Going down to A. Now, I try and get a shot through the rocks, but I can't. It's a bit too low. I thought it was a bit higher than that. But we know where he's going, so we can move and get to an intercepting point for him. So we know that it's going to appear down here any second, so let's get over this hill. There it is. Get the gun on target, try and stop wobbling, fire off a shot, hit the engine, perfect shot. The M4A3 is in some really serious trouble now, and we can take it out with ease. So, we've cleared that side flank off. Now let's go to B and start capping. The game's turning to our favour now. All the spawn camping didn't help, it seems. Well, it's helped for us, obviously, but not for the enemy, who were busy spawn camping and leaving the middle bit unprotected. And that's really the problem with spawn camping, is you might get a few kills. The guy that was spawn camping on our team got about 4 or 5 kills, I think. But they finished about 5th or 6th in the team because they didn't do the hard work. And that's one of the problems with spawn camping, is you're kind of effectively changing the game a little bit, but if there are caps that are being capped, you need to cap them, because that will lose the game. You also get some good points from capping. So we're keeping an eye out just to make sure nothing can get us from the side here. Because again, in the Tiger, the front armour is very strong, so we're pretty safe from the front, but we've got to be very careful around the side of the vehicle. Things are looking good over there. We've got a Nashorn to our left. He goes pop, then we'll know to turn around. Cap point is capped. Let's go for a little drive and see if we can deal with some of those spawn campers. So I'm getting reports of a spawn camper still up around on this hill area. And as you can see, there it is. Some rockets come in from a P-47 and do nothing towards me. But it does warn this Sherman. So we just come over the hill, get hit straight in the front. The track at the front does its job. We go to fire off, but a Nashorn takes him out just before we can shoot. So, great job by the Nashorn there for support. A little bit salty I didn't get the kill, but I don't mind. Teamwork is teamwork. So that was good. It was really nicely played from the Nashorn over to the left there. He'd just been killed by the guy sitting there anyway. So he knew his position at least. And now we just wait for the end of the game, really. We've got all the control points, and the enemy are just sitting in planes. So, we'll finish up the game there. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think. Comments below, blah blah blah, the usual. As I said, the Ho-Ri is not the... I still don't think it's worth it as a premium. Personally, it's good, but it's not great. If you want to buy a premium around that tier, the Tiger here is 5.7. It's cheaper, and you've got more mobility. You know, you've got a turret, you've got that fantastic gun, you've got armour. You've got better armour, in fact, you know, around the whole vehicle than, you know, just the front of the vehicle. This is a much better option for a premium vehicle to buy. As you see, the kill rate for both vehicles is pretty much equal. It's not a terrible vehicle, but it's not worth the money. If it comes on sale, buy it, I would say. That would be my best advice for you. Alright guys, until next time, this is Screezilla out, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.